Hi, I'm Latifa, and today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on Charlotte Tilbury's brand new Flawless Filter Quads. So Charlotte Tilbury has recently released 3 brand new quads, and they're all part of her Hollywood Flawless Filter range. And so we have Diva Lights, we have Star Aura, and we also have Eyes of a Star. So I'm gonna go ahead and open them. I've not opened them, so you are getting my first impressions of these. And we're gonna start with Star Aura, Eyes of a Star, apologies. And so the packaging, as per usual, absolutely stunning, typical Charlotte Tilbury packaging. And this is what it looks like from the outside. Let me give it a quick wipe. This is what it looks like on the outside. So it's typical, fantastic Charlotte Tilbury packaging, absolutely stunning. And here's what she looks like on the inside. Gorgeous, right? And just do that so you can see. Beautiful. So you've got a kind of cooler toned brown right here, then you've got a slightly warmer brown. I think I'm seeing flecks of red coming through there as well. Then you've got 2 more high shine colors. This is more of a champagne-y gold, and this one's more of like a what would you call that, an orange gold. I think that's probably the best way to describe it. Now I think the one I'm most looking forward to seeing, so you've got Diva Lights, which is next, and I think this might be the one that I'm most looking forward to trying, actually. Let me get it open. So again, it's exactly the same outside pack. Yes, this is the one I was most looking forward to trying. So they've got exactly the same outside packaging, but look at the shade. So you've got this kind of deep dark. Now on the website, I know it's described as I think it was described as a blue. So there you go, you've got the darker color there, and then you've got 3 more shimmery shades. Gorgeous. Yeah, really nice. The only thing I'm just as the first impressions, I am noticing that this color here is extremely similar to the one we just saw. Let's compare them. Now looking at them together there, they do look awfully similar. It's interesting. If I put them side by side in front of me, okay, so one's slightly deeper than the other, but I'm guessing on the eyes there wouldn't be a huge difference, for being completely honest. And then lastly we have Star Aura, and this one appears to be, so this is probably the one that I'm least looking forward to trying, but that I wanted to try out the most for you guys, purely because as a brown girl, I wanted to know if it was going to show up, and then obviously I can help you guys make a decision about whether or not you want to purchase it based on that, you know, whether or not it's going to show up in your skin tones. Like, I would describe myself as a chocolate girl. I'm not the darkest chocolate girl, but definitely, most definitely within the chocolate category. I always find when I'm buying from a foundation range that's quite a good foundation range, I'm usually the darkest of the 10 and the lightest of the deep. Now technically there should be a dark deep in every category, and I should sit somewhere in between the deep if you have a dark deep, but alas, we don't have that in most things. So usually the darkest of the 10 and the lightest of the deep. So that's normally where I sit. So this is Star Aura, the lightest of them all. Karen focus, there she is. Yeah, so she is the fairest. Thing is, when you've got deeper skin tones, colours like this will, the colours like this and this will show up on you. It's the kind of peachy tones and the brown tones, if they're light brown tones, that might not show up on you. So let's get started. Now each of these retails in the UK for £42. I always say, whenever you buy from the Charlotte Tilbury website, always use the 10% discount code. You can get either a student discount, or if you Google discount codes, they've usually got a 10%. So that takes £4.20 off, and that's usually the cost of delivery if you're just buying one. So well worth using. I will leave the links to the UK and the US sites to be able to order these as well. And they all are currently in stock on today, which is the 14th of January. As of the 14th of January, they are currently on sale here. So yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna actually start by doing one eye each with the 2 palettes that I wanted, you know, because I want the full collection, but that I was not that keen on seeing. So that's the Diva Lights and the Star Aura. So I'm going to start with those two. I'm really tempted to do, because I don't like it when I watch videos and people have two separate eyes. I think sometimes it's hard to see. So, so I'm going to do one eye in each, and then I'm going to come back, and for the final look, I'll do a full eye of the Eyes of a Star. So let's get started. So starting with the Eyes of a Star palette, I'm going to go in with the defined shade, which is this one right here. And I'm going to use that as my, I'm going to say crease colour, but in actual fact, it's not going to be my crease colour. It's going to be my crease colour. I'm just going to start here, lay her down there. And this is a Pat McGrath synthetic brush. You can't actually buy it, but it came in the, one of her eye kits. So I'm going to start by laying that down and blending that in. Off the bat, it's not extremely pigmented, I'm noticing. So I'm really going to pack that on. It's not your stereotypical, okay, actually, there we go. It's not your stereotypical matte. It's like a sheeny type of matte. Quite nice though. Okay, we're going to just start by laying that down. Next, I'm going to go in with the defined shade. I'm going to put that in my outer V. It's just on there. Now that's not super duper pigmented. Not super duper pigmented, I'm noticing. Now this is a Sonia G mini booster brush. Now these are natural hair brushes. Now I'm not sure if it's that it's not a deep enough shade to show up on me, or actually no, it is. It absolutely is. I think it's actually quite sheer. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's quite a sheer colour. That's what it is. So this is more for your subtle, kind of ethereal makeup, goddess kind of very smooth kind of makeup. This isn't your blam blam in your face type of makeup. This is going to give you soft. Okay, now I've got that blended out how I would like it. I'm going to step back so that you can see it. There we go. Now I had to work very hard, not so much the red shade, but that brown shade. I had to work extremely hard to get that to show up. I had to blend that one out quite extensively to get it to show up. But we move. We're going to go to the enhanced shade, which is this orange shade right here. We're going to put that all over the lid. I'm going to keep the prime shade for when I do my inner corner. The good thing though, I have noticed through all that blending, and I've already got my foundation set, so if I come back a little bit, and it hasn't disturbed it in the slightest. So we're going to go in with this one next. Okay, so that shows up quite nicely actually. What I would be interested to know is what would happen if I sprayed my brush. But otherwise, that's quite nice. Now you could leave it there. This is very typical of the Charlotte Tilbury formula, and by that I mean it's not wham bam in your face. It's very subtle, extremely subtle. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit more and see where we can go with that. But we are starting to get a bit of dimension now. If you have a look at the eye, we're starting to get a little bit of dimension. I'm going to be a bit cheeky, and I'm going to spray my brush and see what I can get from that shade as it is, because as it stands, this is what we're looking like. Yeah, I'm going to spray the brush and see if we can get a bit more sparkle on that. Okay, and that's with a wet brush. Wow, what a difference. What a difference. Now this is a bit more Bitter Me. Yeah, lovely. Really nice, I like that. Okay, happy with that. Let's do the inner corner. Now I'm gonna go, well, the inner third as well. I'm gonna go with the shade that is called Prime in the palette, which is this shade right here. So I'm gonna go in with that. I'm gonna put that right there. And take that right up there like that. So they seamlessly come together. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just going to tidy up the previous shades to put them back in their place. So we've got this one up here. Yeah, okay. Moving on to the Star Aura. Now this is the one I was least looking forward to, for obvious reasons. It's pale as fuck. But I'm not concerned about these colours. These colours will always show up because they are so contradictory to my own skin. This is the one that's got me the most concerned, if I'm being completely honest. And because of that, this is the one I want to start with first. So we're going to go in with this shade here, which is called the Smoke shade. I'm going to put it just there. This was always going to be the shade I was most concerned about. Purely because it's so close to my skin tone that you've always got to worry about whether or not it's going to show up. The funniest thing is, I'm looking in my viewfinder now and I can barely see it. But when I look in the mirror dead ahead of me, I can see it. A bit more. I'm going to place it just here. I'm going to keep it towards the outside. It's got a nice sheen, but I'm getting very little colour payoff. Okay, I'm just going to stop there. And I'm going in my next shade. I'm going to put this a little higher actually before. Okay, next I'm going to go in with this defined shade, and that's this colour right here. And I'm going to put that in the centre of my lid and see what that does. So let's have a look. Oh, okay. This one is playing no games. The only thing with these two shadows, oh that's beautiful, is I'm going to find, I mean this one's a bit more on the pinky side, but overall I do find you're going to get the same kind of looks. I'm just going to pop that up to there, and I'm going to use the other shade to go a bit deeper. There we go. But actually that's got quite considerable payoff. That's actually quite deceptive. Okay, next I'm going to go in with the shade Enhance, which is this pinky shade here. Sorry, that pinky shade right there. I'm going to place that there on the inner third. It's quite nice actually. Yeah, that's actually beautiful. I'm going to take that down here. Yeah, I'm going to take that down here. Probably should use a smaller brush, but whatever. But I'm also going to take it back up and into the other colour. It's actually quite beautiful. Okay. That came out much more pigmented than I expected. That's actually kind of beautiful. Okay, I'm going to do the same as I did on the other eye. I'm going to do my under eye and line it, and I'll be right back. I don't need to put on eyeshadow or mascara, just so you know, purely because I got falsies on. And I'll be right back. And this is the other eye finished. This is a really nice pinky colour. I actually quite like this. It's not what I expected. I thought it wasn't going to show up very much, but actually it's beautiful. The only thing with this, you know, again, I'll actually come up to the end, but the only thing with this palette is I would need another palette with a deeper shade in it to make it work the way I want it to work. But as it is, it's extremely subtle. Look one. Look two. Both absolutely beautiful looks, actually. Ooh. And now let's do the palette that I've been most looking forward to. Okay, Diva Lights. So this is the one I've been most looking forward to trying, just because there's so many more richer tones. So look at that. Yeah, I don't even know what to do first. I think I'm gonna go first with the prime shade, which looks like to be this one. Actually no, I'm gonna go with this one as like a crease color. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like, because essentially it's these are all, none of these are actually mattes. None of them have all got like a sheen to it that I'm not actually used to. So we're gonna go in with that one first. Oh, okay. It has definitely got a sheen to it. I'm just going to take that. This is almost going to be my crease colour. This particular one I want to use all 4 shades. I managed to use all 4 shades in the first one, but the second one I did only use 3. Okay, I'm happy with that. That's a nice crease colour actually. Thing is though, because these are like sheens and not satin, if you have any kind of texture on your lid, it will expose you. So I'm going to leave that there. It's extremely close to my skin tone, very close. So if you're much darker than me, you're going to have to put a concealer down or something down, a base down that's a lot fairer to give you the lift that you want. Next, I'm going to go in with the smoke shade, which is this black shade here, which she describes as blue. I'm just going to swatch it for myself. It's definitely a black, but we'll do it anyway. I'm going to place that right there. Oh yeah, baby. That's what I like. Yeah, baby. Anyone that knows me knows I love a smoke show. Love, love, love a smoke show. Now I kind of got to be careful because I've got a full face of makeup on. There's no way for me to clean this up if I go a bit crazy. Pull it out a tiny bit. And then take it up. So I'm happy with that. Okay, and then lastly, I'm going to go in with the, I'm going to go in with the prime shade, so that original orange shade that I was pointing at. I'm going to go in with that one. I'm just going to lay that down there. Oh yeah, baby. Oh, damn, this is nice. Yeah, baby. That is nice. This is just out here showing off and showing out and saying, Okay, so I'm going to add just a bit more of that. I'll take it a bit further in actually than I did with the other two. Oh wow, she's pigmented. I want to see how far I can take her. Yeah, she's pigmented. I'm going to spray her right back. Okay, so I sprayed the brush. That's what she looks like when she's sprayed. It's a different vibe altogether. It's like a molten gold. Let's see how she looks on the lid. Oh wow, that definitely takes it to another level. Wow, that definitely does something. Wowzers. This is loud and proud. Wow. I'm gonna take a little bit further down. Wow. Wow. Okay, very impressed with that. And then what I'm going to do with the final shade is take her on the inner third. And I'm just going to start there and bring her down. Bring her back up. Wow, those are heavily contrasting shades, but I'm going to blend them together a bit more. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. Heavily contrasting shades, but it works. Wow. Wow. Okay. Just going to bring this a bit further across and a bit higher for greater depth. But wow, I'm impressed. Okay, so I'm happy with that. I'm gonna clean up a bit, do the other eye, and then you can get my final thoughts. And this is Diva Lights. beautiful. Now, Charlotte describes these shades as being these magic textures and shades play with bright and dark light shade to give the optical illusion of bigger, brighter looking eyes. These universally flattering textures and shades suit every skin tone and can be used wet or dry. And you saw how great they looked actually when a little bit of spray was applied to it. It just lifted the shade. So that's I'll agree with. Soft glitter, metallic and matte finishes. Now, I don't think in all three of the palettes that there was a single matte shade, and we'll come on to that shortly, but that's a reach. Polished pear pigments for an iridescent shimmer. Now that will explain the formula. Like, the formula does feel slightly different to some of the formulas that I've used in the Charlotte Tilbury range before. Again, we'll come to that, but yeah, it definitely does feel different. In a good way? Not sure. So the luminosity booster for a multi-dimensional glow with a velvety smooth finish, easy to blend and to build. Intensity, that I will agree with. Okay, so if I'm going to start with Star Aura. Now this again was the lighter shade. Would I recommend it? Yes and no. So here's my thing. For us deeper girls, you just have to work harder. If you want it, then you need to work harder, and you need to decide whether or not after spending £42 you're prepared to work harder. You do need to pack on the pigment to get any kind of payoff whatsoever, and you just need to decide if that's for you. Personally, I like to complete my collection, so yes, I was always going to buy it. How often I'll reach for it, I'm not sure, because right now I'm actually at my paylist. It's winter, so I'm actually at my paylist. I don't get any fairer than this throughout the year, and even then I would need a secondary palette to help it. So what I would end up doing is, yes, I might reach for the lighter shimmer shades because they're gorgeous. The metallics are absolutely stunning. That pink, gorgeous. But I would need a supplementary palette, so I would probably reach for another set of mattes because I want to deepen the crease and add some dimension. So yeah, most definitely. Would I recommend? It depends on whether or not you're prepared to work for it. But personally, I like it, and actually I like it more than I thought I would. Not as much as the Diva Lights, but more than I thought I actually would. I would say it's probably my second favourite out of all three. So yeah, that's my opinion on Star Aura. Now the second palette we tried today was Eyes of a Star, and she looks like this. Now this one is giving me ritualistic rose, just a tad, and out of all the Pat McGrath quads, it's probably my least favourite. Ironically, I thought it could be my most favourite, but it's not actually, and only because again, this brown shade is too close to my skin tone. That said though, it's completely workable. If you pack that particular shade on, you will get the pigment and you will get the payoff. The only thing with this is because it's not it's not a matte. It's absolutely, let me do it on the forearm. It's not a matte. They've all got a bit of a sheen to it. So if you've only got any kind of texture on your skin, it will expose you. Absolutely will expose you. But yeah, that said though, I thoroughly enjoyed playing with this one. This is a beautiful palette. This orange shade here, oh my god, this shade is absolutely beautiful. And on chocolate skins, it really stands out. I can imagine actually on fairer tones, this shade right here, this kind of reddy warm brown, I actually think that would be a beautiful standout shade actually. And this gold here, as long as you haven't got the kind of skin that doesn't really suit golds, this tone will be amazing. Likewise, it would suit tan shades, and obviously you saw it suited me. Deeper, darker girls, nah, I would say don't buy this. Absolutely don't buy this. Or if you do want to buy it, then what I would suggest is using a shade base that's like the P Louise Base 0, which is essentially white, because then it would absolutely pop on your skin, then absolutely. But I just think for £42, you want it to show up. Quite frankly, you want it to show up. And I know it sounds really contradictory because Star Aura is actually considerably lighter, but this is a weird contradiction. When shades are that light, they will show up on darker skins, whereas these kind of shades are hit and miss. They're generally hit and miss. All of these shades will show up on me, and maybe if you're a shade or two darker than me, but my deep, dark blue, black skin tone girls, you know, my Nubian goddesses, I just say use a lighter base. It would probably work for you absolutely fine if you use a lighter base. But if you wanted to just use it as is, you're going to need a supplementary palette. These tones will look great with a deeper tone, or maybe even that deep dark tone from Diva Lights. That actually might work, because then these will all pop, as it were. But yeah, I mean, how often I reach for this, I'm not entirely sure. What I do love about the Charlotte Tilbury formula, though, is just how seamless everything looks. There's something very ethereal about how it looks. It's very soft, very seamless. And maybe I might reach for these purely because the formula is absolutely fantastic, second to none. It's different. It's not your bam in your face. It's sultry, it's smooth, it's soft, it's ethereal, it's gorgeous. And they tend to last all day. So my opinion on Eyes of a Star, it's my least favorite of the three, for sure. And last but not least, we have Diva Lights, and she looks like this. Gorgeous. Now, I knew I was gonna love this palette the most from the get-go, purely because of that darker shade. Now, firstly, I'm gonna swatch it for you, but yeah, the darker shade for me, whenever there's a dark shade in the palette, it just means that I can always add depth to any of the other colors. Likewise, if there's like a white or something, you can always lighten any of the colors. So I knew that no matter what shades were in here, I was gonna be able to make them work. And I'm gonna show you what they look like what she looks like to me. So that's what she looks like on my finger. And then on my arm, so that's the shade I swatched for you earlier. Look. Now, remember I said earlier, there's no real mattes in any of them. I include these two. Now, these two are supposed to be mattes, but there's a slight sheen to them. Now, the problem is, again, like I said before, sheeny matte add texture to the eyes, so everything you've already got on the eyes is going to be exposed, everything you're going to have to see. So for ladies with texture on the eyes or slightly older eyelids, just be aware of that. There are ways to make it work, such as a primer, but just be aware of that. This gold as well in this palette, now this is a beautiful inner corner shade. I'm going to put her here. Look, stunning. Oh, gorgeous. And lastly, this orange. I must actually go back and pick out one of the pink shades from Star Aura, because those are really nice as well. But look at that. This, do you know what? This would be my ideal palette. Just here. If they just threw in a black, a brown, sorry, matte, this would be absolutely perfect. Gorgeous. But yeah, this is my favorite one. It blends like a dream. I got to give you don't have to work very hard with any of these palettes. I got to give that to them. And the formula feels very different to the normal Charlotte Tilbury formula, in that it's very sheeny, really, really sheeny. Everything does have a gloss to it. Do I like that better than the others? No, if I'm going to be frank, no, I don't. But for what they are, they work. Are these three my favorites now? Not even close. I might reach for Diva Lights a bit more than, purely because of that black. And you don't really find blacks in Charlotte Tilbury quads, so purely because of that black, it will probably get reached for more. And because in the Easy Eye palette, the black in there is atrocious, so I might reach for it more because of that. This is a really, really good black, and I'm obsessed with finding good blacks. So my overall opinions of these are they worth £42? Yes, they are. The quality is superb. Chef's kiss, shut up, they're that good. But you have to wonder whether or not you're going to get that much use of it. If you think you can get use out of every colour, and let's be real, for £42, every single shade needs to be usable. I think that's the only thing you need to ask yourself is, can I use every single shade? If the answer is yes, go for it. If the answer is no, just take a minute and think about it. And if you can't stop thinking about the palette, then go for it. Are these brown girl friendly? We can make them work. And I don't know how people feel about being able to say in 2021, we can make them work. I think my only thing is maybe if they had done a dark and light. So this is the light. This is for the light and tan girls, and they don't want that slightly darker. I think that actually probably would have been a better idea, because I have them, so I'm going to use them. But if I was watching reviews, trying to figure out if they were for me, to be honest with you, this review would make me think that it's not going to work for me, if I'm going to be completely honest, only because we have to make it work. Again, I love makeup, so I don't mind, but for others, you have to make it work, and you need to decide if £42 is worth spending on something you have to make work. Overall, I like them. I do think Charlotte Tilbury can do better. I mean, let's be real. It's only this year that we started getting deeper, 2020, that we started getting deeper shades for black girls. Like with the bronzer that she just came out with, actually, she came for us, but actually we could do 2 more shades. Likewise with the Flawless Filter. Great, it's fantastic that we come for darker shades, but we shouldn't always be a secondary thought. But that said, I can't fault them in terms of quality. They're absolutely superb. I would love to see a palette. That'd be interesting to see, or a tone palette. That'd be interesting to see. But otherwise, I actually quite like them. I really like them, and they work for me, which is quite selfish actually, because they should work for everybody. But they work for me, therefore I like them. Therefore, I will continue to use them. Star Aura and Diva Lights, chef's kiss. Yeah, I think that's my opinion on it. So, if you liked my review and my demonstration, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button, and please come back. Share if you like as well, share if you care. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.